hopping into this sales process though, let's walk through it real quick. So phone script, you can just kind of, you don't have to role play if you don't want to. What do you say? What's your kind of process? What's your intro when working these leads? Like, how do you go about that if you're dialing leads?
I stole your intro word for word. So you had, I think we requested like you showed like the landing page and whatnot, and you said
Mhm.
I say the exact same thing. I'm like, hey Trey, I'm giving you a quick call back. We just got your request you sent in. It looks like you're looking into some tax-free wealth options, and you listed your main financial goal. And I was like, I asked him, does that ring a bell? And then I'm Christian with tax-free wealth, and we did get the request you submitted online, and I'm actually the advisor assigned to go over this with you. And then I just go straight into it.
You just hop right into it. Yeah. Dude, I'm trying to tell people, bro. The proof is in the pudding, bro. And guess
Yeah.
what? Look, I like and I didn't know that, y'all. For those of you watching, I swear to goodness, I didn't know he did. Because some people they don't do that and they still have success, which is like cool. But yeah, man, as long as you paint the picture for what they saw, because you know what they saw. And if it ever changes, we tell you it changes. And it's like, okay, you should say this now, right? So that's money. That's money. That's money. Cool, 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 cool. So you'll do one call close or you'll try to book an appointment. Now, let's briefly pivot a little bit. I want you to talk about how are you planning like your days for working leads? Like, are you, hey, and I think this is super important, so just follow me. Like, I think it's important for people to know what successful people do. So, like, what does your kind of like just day look like from when you hit the office till when you typically leave in terms of like working the leads and kind of being involved in the business? Because you mentioned you have a gap where there's not that much going on with these leads. So how do you go about that, or what's that look like?
Yeah, of course. You don't want to be just sitting there not doing anything. So typically when I come in, I'll check the portals, see if there's any pending requirements, because sometimes it is IULs and sometimes you get sent to underwriting. Sometimes you need to get re-signed illustrations, whatnot. After that, of course, I try to hit my fresh as fast as possible. Like any fresh ones that just came in, I want to hit them as soon as possible. And then I also get filler leads. So I've been using the $2 ones in your guys' CRM store. They're really nice because they're pretty simple. They either have an IUL and it was really bad, badly improperly structured. They're sick of getting calls or they just didn't get the information. And then I've got a couple closes out of those. Those are really nice, but definitely you don't want to just be only dialing your fresh leads because you don't want to over dial them because they're going to start recognizing your number. They're going to start like, this guy's just keep calling me like he has nothing better to do all day. And then just making sure you can at least have something to do to still get activity throughout the day.
Dang, you just hit on something. Now I got a follow-up question. So you're
Yeah.
telling an agent, okay, I wake up, I get to the office, dial my new leads, do what I can, dial from like 8 to 10, then I take a little break. I may dial then from 10 to whenever, and then hit the fresh leads again. My question for the intermediate leads, and I know you have been buying the $2 ones. What is your process for that? Like, how are you calling? What's the script that you're using for that one? Or like, I guess for anybody that's working age leads and that's all they can afford, or like, hey, Christian, I can't do the verified ones. I can only do the $2 ones. What do you say to them? How do they work the leads? What would you say is the best practice for that?
So I use the same script. I just alter the intro a little bit. All I just say is I just kind of re-bring up the idea. I don't mention tax-free wealth just because I'm not too sure what they saw before in the past. I don't want to confuse them. I just
Mhm.
get straight to the point and ask is like, oh, you requested some information on an IUL, how it works and how it might help you. And then with their financial goal, to kind of re generate their memory, like get them back on the topic. And then I'm just asking, did you ever get that information or did you kind of fall through the cracks? And then either they'll tell me they already have one, and then I kind of just poke a little hole in it. I was like, oh, so you must have filled this out because you saw the news on them or something like that, just to get them buy me more time. And then I
Right.
say most of the time agents aren't setting them up properly, and it's kind of why you looked into this. And then I've actually found a lot of people either don't have a properly structured one, they have a simplified issued one, like a move policy built for cash value, and it's not. I'm looking at the illustration. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about?
Right.
And then, but of course, those are kind of harder to get a one call close because it's been so long and it's not on the top of their mind. So those are definitely booked appointments to try to get them back a little bit later. But it is possible. I mean, I have. But yeah, just switching the intro a little bit, but the same process, same script.
Yeah, no, that's powerful. I think what you said before that, when you're talking about the three different type of like behaviors that you're going to get from the person, whether they already have something, right? Whether it was poorly structured or somebody never got in contact with them, and you're framing that, and that's your expectation with the leads. Like you're going into
Yeah.
it like, okay, they've talked to somebody, so I'm kind of assumptive in like, oh, that's why, maybe you didn't get this taken care of in the way that you wanted to, whatever it may be. So I think that's perfect, man.